I'm Anaquan Mortar, and this is my puzzle, Dinner Time. It's time to make dinner. Let's head into the kitchen and see what we have. Some of this, some of that. Mix it with this, take a drink to calm the nerves, and then everything into the pot. Voila! Dinner is served. But how does the food taste? This is one of my single puzzles that uses a lot of elements from the kitchen. I had this idea for a while, not particularly this kitchen idea, but an idea for this type of puzzle. So the question is, how does the food taste? And you have to get that from the image over here. So take a look at the image and you can pause this video and see if you want to figure out the answer. Now that you've had a chance to look at it, there are two sections to the image here. We have this top part and the bottom part. There's clearly a sequence at the top, and there's a bunch of lettered items at the bottom here. So somehow they are associated with each other, and it's your job to figure that out. Let me just click reveal tags to see which type of puzzle we're doing with. As I said, it's an association puzzle, so somehow there is an association here, and it's also a cipher, and that'll tell us two things. So the association basically means we have to make connections in this picture. Somehow these images connect with each other. And the cipher means that there is a sequence of things here that spells a word. So the only sequence we have is at the top. So somehow this has to be the cipher that we have here. With that information, go ahead and try a bit more. I call this puzzle association, and actually it's kind of a complementary association, a direct association. If we click on this, you can read more about this, what this means. This is a function association, and it's complementary. Some of them are direct. What that means is that there's object pairs in here that aren't directly the same, but they share the same sort of function. And if you take, for example, the knife and the fork, well, they share either a direct function, they're both for eating food, or complementary, that you use the fork with the knife together. And that's how we know that this knife is associated with this fork. And for the cipher aspect of the puzzle, well, there's a little S beside the fork. So we could assume that this knife here is an S. Press pause if you'd like to figure out the rest of the puzzle now. So moving on, we have the rest of the association here. And these again are complementary, some are direct. So we have here, well, we're going to say this is salt, it's white, and down here we have a similar shaker, it's a black, and that'll give us the A. And then we have this corkscrew thing here, and it's okay if you don't recognize this corkscrew, there's going to be enough context here that you can jump around to other ones. So the corkscrew goes down to the V here, and then we have this sort of kettle thing. In a kettle we have, well, a kettle, what does it fit with down here? Well, it fits best, well, there's a teacup here, so probably a teacup. The tea kettle fits with the teacup the most. Then I have a bottle, sort of a beer here, this Pilsner here, and they have bottle caps on them. So the association then is with the bottle opener here. And then we go on to cheese, and cheese, we look around again, and well, there's a cheese grater, so it's clearly that one. So we have the R here, and then the little ladle here. Well, ladle could have many associations, but we've gone through many of them, and we have the Y there, so we scoop it out, so we have the Y there, so that's the fork is the S, the salt and pepper is the A, the corkscrew is the V, the tea kettle is the O, the beer bottle with the bottle cap is the bottle opener, which is U. Then we have the cheese, for the cheese grater is R, and then the Y for the ladle, which spells the word savory. And of course, I'll use Canadian spelling or British spelling as you want, because I really love my U's and puddles, and it also makes it a bit harder for you to guess. So to the construction of this puzzle, one of the things I did is that there are more items on the bottom here than there are symbols that match the top. This is not meant to be a red herring. What this is meant to do is to prevent somebody from coming in and looking at these letters and simply working out the word based on all the letters. That if only the letters of the word savory were here, it'd be relatively easy for somebody to figure out what that word is. So that's why I threw in the extra letters here, where we have the T, which is not used, we have an E, which is not used, an M, and a D, and an L. And these letters are not chosen at random. Generally, when I add extra letters, I go through the most common letters of the English alphabet. So this T, D, E, L, and M here can produce a myriad of words with all these other letters, so that if you're trying to guess the result, generally you're not going to come upon savory here. You might come out with yummy, that was the one as well, Y-U-M-M-Y, that's yummy. You can also come out with tasty, T-A-S-T-Y, which was actually one of the original puzzles I wanted this, but since they had duplication, I ignored it. So that's when I do these puzzles. I try to think about that to make it a little bit mixed up. And I didn't mean to create new red herrings. And so it was actually kind of hard to find other images that aren't associated with this, because some of these, like I had a nice knife, but then it's like, well, the knife and the knife would be gone, so meat and cleaver wouldn't work. So I tried choosing, this is why we have the little coffee pot-like thing, because it doesn't associate with anything. And the honey thing, I actually wanted to put honey in the top, but I couldn't find a suitable honey pot where you dip honey that was recognizable as honey. And then I had the mortar and pestle, because there's no herbs or anything of any kind. In theory, it could connect with the pepper, but this is very black and this connection is so strong that I don't think people associate it, and plus it's only on the bottom. And that's how I came up with this puzzle. I hope you like it. Be sure you can copy and paste the images as a standalone puzzle, though it's nice to copy this text with it as well, and give a link back to this page where people can test the result, just so you can see what it is. Tag me and let me know that you've solved it on Facebook or Twitter, or post me on Instagram, or join in the conversation at Discord. And if you like these puzzles, join our mailing list so that you can get more of them as I do them. I won't promise the regularity, but I'm trying to do more of them. All right, thank you very much for watching, and please have fun with my puzzles.